think it's next month, like the 10th.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those are the crummy numbers for 18, it said 18.
18 new ones. Yeah, Doug was saying that of the ones that they tested, it was a little over 5%.
Okay, it's 6 o'clock. Did we lose you, Linda?
No, I'm here.
Okay. I'd like to get started. I'd like to call the November 16, 2020 Canandaigua Town Board meeting to order. If we could all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, which will be led by our town councilman, Terry Finelli.
Pledge allegiance to the flag
Flag of the United States,
and to the republic for which it stands,
which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Terry. Jane, can you call the roll, please?
Councilman Gary Davis,
Present.
Councilwoman Linda Jorzak,
Present.
Councilman Terry Fenley,
Present.
Supervisor Kathy Mennicott,
Present.
Councilman Jared Simpson.
Present.
And Jane, can you please confirm that the meeting was properly advertised?
Yes, it was properly advertised.
Okay, before we go any further, I'd just like to go over the birthdays for the month, the upcoming month. Today is November 16th, correct? Happy birthday to Samantha Pierce. November 26th, Caitlin McCumsky. November 29th, Jim Fletcher. Happy birthday. December 9th, Stacy Richmond. And December 17th, Gary Humes. Happy birthday to everyone. There are written communications which are available to be viewed. We have our first privilege of the floor. Is anyone present that would like to be heard for this privilege of the floor? Okay, I don't see anyone requesting privilege of the floor. We have no priority business. And we have a presentation. Do we have someone to give the auditor's report?
Kathy, they were not able to actually make it this evening due to a last minute conflict. I'm happy to just touch on it briefly here for everybody if you'd like to just spend a moment on it.
That would be helpful. Thank you. Yes.
Okay, so I know that a number of the board members were at a finance meeting when Bonadio Group did go through it with us. This is the 2019 audit concluding December 31st, 2019. In terms of, there were no material statements or misstatements, qualitative aspects of accounting practices. And I'm going to go through this very, very quickly. So stop me if you have questions or anything. But during the year, the town for 2019 had implemented GASB 95. That actually got postponed because of COVID. That is actually a federal decision. That wasn't our decision to postpone those requirements. So that will actually be done now in 2020. The auditing firm noted no transactions entered into by the town during the year for which there was a lack of authoritative guidance or consensus. I'm going to jump over here to the management letter that they have provided us. And I want to skip down here to this next section. There were two internal control related matters that they wanted to bring to your attention. The first here is an observation. The town of Canandaigua was unable to substantiate the infrastructure amounts of 51 million and depreciation of infrastructure of 44 million. These amounts were originally put together by the town's outside accounting firm, and management's been able to ascertain how they were put together. The town is working out to figure the proper amounts of infrastructure, but as of the time of the audit, unable to provide any supporting documentation for those amounts. I know that we do have a finance meeting this coming Thursday morning where we're going to discuss this a little bit more. The recommendation is during 2020, the town needs to ensure the values reported for capital assets are accurate, reliable, and fully supportable for presentation in the future financial statements. So that's the first. And then the second being trial balance adjustments. Observation, the town had to make numerous adjustments after year end in order to correct fund balances that were thrown off by the transition from KVS to ENCODE. There were journal entries made at all stages of the audit, and in the end, variances between the bank reconciliations and the pooled cash accounts for the town required a journal entry of $105,000 to be made to correct the cash balances at year end. And then the recommendation the towns needs to ensure it works with Encode to identify and resolve the issue with pooled cash prior to the close of fiscal 2020. That issue, we're working with Encode right now to address that matter. When we converted from KVS to Encode, unfortunately, there were almost two systems set up inside of Encode. There was the pooled cash system, and then there was a cash account system for each of our funds. We have, as you know, the general fund, the highway fund, and then 28 special districts, and we have all of our reserve funds all set up as separate funds. So there's this problem as we got into bank reconciliation. As you know, the bank accounts are all reconciled and those are provided monthly to you now. But there was this discrepancy of $105,000 relative to the way the pooled cash calculated. And we can actually see what that $105,000 was, is it was recorded in KVS and it was not recorded in Encode during the transition from 2018 in KVS and 2019 in Encode. So we were over reporting fund balance of basically $105,000 in the Encode system. I want to jump to their full audit report, and I did email this out. They finalized this today. I did send this out to you. I know everybody's always interested, particularly in fund balance. So let me just jump to that and then answer any questions. Specifically, the number that you want to look at is your unassigned fund balance. So for 12/31/19, Bonadio Group has audited that we have just over $2 million in unassigned fund balance in the general fund. So with that, I'm happy to try to answer any questions. I know that was really quick, and that was months and months and months worth of work that I summarized in what, 3 minutes? So
Doug, I was wondering if, because I don't remember, the last time an audit was done, did Bonadio comment on, the asset number, the capital assets, and make the same kind of observations they did this time?
So we discussed it, and there was a lot of effort put into the capital assets last time also. One of the things that had happened is they were, keep in mind, previously, prior to this audit, they were auditing the KVS system. The KVS system had numbers entered into it for infrastructure and fixed assets that were done by the previous accounting firm. But again, there was no basis for that. But that's what the number that they ended up using. When we imported everything over into Tyler Technologies and Encode, that's where we started finding some questions about, okay, what is the basis for this number? So they didn't call it out specifically the same way, Terry, but it was certainly a concern then that was compounded by the conversion over to Encode. And so I think hopefully it sounds like we've got a solution for something going forward. I think that we're going to talk a little bit about on Thursday, but we need to have a basis for where these numbers are coming from. That's what was missing.
Thank you.
I feel like, Terry, the other thing is that they, because we were in the midst of a conversion very early in it last year, that they somewhat gave us a pass, but now this year, they're saying, hey, we cannot validate those numbers, and they actually wrote it in their letter. So we would really like to make sure that for the end of 2020, that's why we're going to have it as a special topic at Finance on Thursday, is for the end of 2020, we'd like those numbers to be representative of something, even if they have to say to us, hey, you didn't do it right. It's a learning process for us. And so we should just make sure that we're making that next step before December 31st.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you, Doug. Next, anybody have any other questions on that? Okay, next we are moving to public hearings. We have no continued public hearings. Our first new public hearing is on the Kramer Road Water District extension to the Canandaigua Consolidated Water District. We have a motion to open this hearing.
Hello?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Is there anyone here who wishes to be heard or to speak on this topic? Okay. Seeing no hands. Can I have a motion to close the hearing?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Our next public hearing is on the text code amendment to town code regarding the regulation of off-street parking. Can I have a motion to open this hearing?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, the public hearing is now open. Is there anyone who wishes to be heard on the public hearing pertaining to resolution 2020-249? Okay. Seeing no hands and no one coming forward. I have a motion to close this public hearing.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Public hearing is now closed. Public hearing for the draft natural resources inventory update and related local law update. This pertains to resolution 2020-250. Have a motion to open this hearing.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. This hearing is now open. Is there anyone who wishes to be heard on this issue? We have some people joining us. For those of you who are joining us now, we're in a public hearing for resolution number 2020-250. Public hearing on the draft natural resources inventory update. Anyone wish to be heard on that? Okay, seeing no request to be heard. Can I have-
Wait.
We do have someone.
Hello, this is Barbara Johnston here. If I could give a few words, I don't know. Doug, do you think it's appropriate to give a few words about this?
If you'd like, if Kathy, I'll defer to you.
Sure, yes, yep.
Well, I
Like to
just-
be heard.
This was quite a process to follow up from the open space plan. Updating the natural resource inventory gives the town an updated and comprehensive open space index, which identifies those natural and cultural resources that trigger review by the Environmental Conservation Board. So it includes an inventory with maps that will become the open space index, as well as information about how these resources are important and how they might best be protected. It includes a guide for site assessment that will be useful through the county's Encore system, as well as a guide for reviewing the potential impacts on natural resources. So we're hopeful that this product will be used by the town Environmental Conservation Board, as well as the Planning Board and other officials, and that the town follows up with code amendments to update the references to the natural resource inventory and open space index, as well as training to have public officials and the public and the board members understand better the great natural resources that are in the town and how they can best be protected.
Thank you very much, Barbara, and thank you to everyone for their work on this. I know it was required a lot of work, so thank you for the dedication to getting it done. Very helpful. Anyone else on this?
I just wanted to add, it's a very comprehensive document. I was really impressed by the whole thing, especially the review guide, the project review guide. That'd be very helpful for our different boards, as they're considering applications that come in. So kind of helps them step through the process. So that was very nice, I thought.
Thank you. I agree as well. Anyone else? Okay, seeing no one else requesting to be heard, can I have a motion to close this meeting?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, the public hearing pertaining to resolution 2020-250 is now closed. Next, we have reports of town officials and department heads. Jim Fletcher, would you like to be heard on highway, water superintendent?
Any questions for the highway superintendent?
When's it gonna start snowing?
It's not Terry.
Okay, you heard that.
I think it's supposed to snow tomorrow, by the way.
Jim's checking. No.
Pam, anything from the town assessor?
I submitted the report and I have nothing further to add.
Okay. Anyone from the town historian's office? I know, I don't think so. Just so everyone knows, I will be appointing a town historian, and we're just beginning the process of, we had some interest from a few people, so I'll be reaching out to the team and getting recommendations, as well as other people who might have interest. So special thank you to Ray Henry for all that he's done. And certainly I will reach out to him as well and get his input. Jean, town clerk.
Yes, you have my report. Let me know if you have any questions. I do have a small minor correction when we get to resolution 220-241 for the unpaid sewer bills that are going to the 2021 levy. I got an updated number from the town of Farmington today, so we just need to update that number.
Okay, thank you. Eric, town planner.
I submitted my report. I have nothing further to add, but happy to answer any questions if anybody has any.
All right, Doug, town manager's report.
I actually have a couple of questions for you guys, but before I do that, Eric, I don't think we've officially done this at a town board meeting. I know we did it at a CIC meeting, but Eric has letting us know that he's going to be leaving us from his full-time position at the end of the year. But Eric, you have done a fantastic job in where you've come over the last couple of years, and all the work that you put in the CIC and the comprehensive plan and all the local laws. And I just wanted to take a quick second to thank you for all your efforts.
Thank you guys for putting me in position to do good things.
Eric, is this your last meeting with us?
I'll be on in December, definitely, and then,
Okay.
you know, I
Well,
continue
we are
forward.
going to miss you.
Yes, we are. Thank you so much for all your work. Terry, I interrupted you. I'm sorry.
Especially Gary. He's at the other end of the room, so I'll say it for him.
He's been a big help to me, there's no doubt about that. I'll certainly miss him. If he had his microphone on, you could hear him whimpering over there.
All right,
Thank you,
I
guys.
have two questions for the town board. Number one, we passed a local law earlier this year to override the tax cap. Are you interested in rescinding that local law since we are tax cap compliant? If you are, I'll move forward with the process to get that going. It's going to take us a little bit, but we certainly, we're $58,000 under the tax cap, so I'm pretty comfortable with that. There is always the risk if the comptroller's office comes back and audits, which they do. The comptroller's office comes to visit me every single year and go through the budget process and go through, but I feel pretty comfortable this year. We're pretty far below the tax cap threshold, so I think we're in pretty good shape this year, but I wanted to hear from you guys, your direction. So.
What is the downside to us leaving that there for now?
Nothing officially. If we leave it, then we are officially, in terms of the comptroller's eyes, we did not comply with the tax cap, even though all the numbers worked because we overrode.
Right, so,
So we
and
probably,
I would, I'm sorry, Linda, go ahead.
I said, so we probably should rescind it.
Yeah, in that case, I'm in favor of rescinding
I
it.
support
So,
that.
Given the uncertainty of what out in front of us, is it wise to rescind it? I mean, we don't know what's going to be happening. Another wave of this thing comes through and really whacks the economy in the first quarter of next year. You know, all of a sudden our revenues aren't what we think they are. And is it, I mean, one of the reasons we rescind it is the not knowing what's going to happen and how the rules may change. We certainly have seen rules change this year over the past 7 or 8 months. So
It's a great question, Terry. The one thing, though, we don't really have another mechanism to levy additional property taxes, and that's really what it's based on. So all the other revenue sources become a lot more fluid, but the property tax levy itself, once we've certified that, and that actually is to be done here soon, those are what the property taxes are. Regardless of what happens with the rest, we'll have to make cuts like we did if the sales tax drops or some other revenue source drops. And we've got to watch that very closely as we approach the next couple of weeks with the COVID situation. But the property taxes, those are what they are now for 2021. We've already adopted the budget and certified the levy in the process. I know Gene's certifying the levy, and so that's what will be levied against the residents of the town.
Would there be any benefit to waiting until next month just to be safe, or?
No, honestly, I don't think it's going to make a difference in terms of that.
Okay.
My thought is really would be to, for the December meeting, establish a public hearing if you want to move forward with it, to establish a public hearing for January rescinding the 2021. So it would give you a little bit more of a cushion, but it's completely up to you guys. I just wanted to see where you guys were at with it.
Because it's focused on what we levy as property tax, and that's really one of the smallest pieces of our revenue, not, compared to sales tax. I think we should go forward and rescind it, given that we're so far under. Terry had a great question, but I think you answered it, Doug, and it just seems like we should look as compliant as we are.
Okay. Right. I do have one more question for you, needing some direction from you on how you want me to handle a situation. We have about 9 individuals who have failed to meet the sexual harassment training that is required. These are primarily individuals. These actually are all individuals that are serving on either the Planning Board, Zoning Board, Environmental Conservation Board, or Board of Assessment Review. Samantha Pierce has reached out to them repeatedly, given them multiple opportunities for online trading. She sent them emails in July, in August, again in August 14th. It looks like a bunch of emails went out. Reminder email went out again on October the 7th. Follow-up was made since then, again on October 29th, it looks like. And then here we are on November 16th, and I've still got about the same 9 individuals. So I'm looking for some direction. I can certainly reach out to them and encourage them that, hey, this is a state law, and whether or not you get reappointed may hinge on this. But again, looking for some direction from the town board. We are required to make sure that these sexual harassment trainings are completed.
Does our insurance coverage require us to make sure that our employees have that training?
It's a state law, and it's anyone. It's not just employees. It's anyone who's interacting with any of our employees. So it includes, and these are all, every one of these is like Environmental Conservation Board, which I think some of these members may not want to be reappointed anyway. That might be part of what's going on here. But it's like Environmental Conservation Board members, Zoning Board members, Planning Board members, and Board of Assessment Review members.
Right. I guess my question is, if there is a claim against this person and we haven't done the proper training, obviously that I'm bringing that as a leveraging point when you speak to these people, which is what I'm hoping that you would do. If they don't complete it, I guess then we have to, at some point we have to say, we can't go forward, reappointing them. I don't want to do, of course, but.
Right. Okay. All right. I'll bring that to their attention, and I just wanted you to be aware.
Excuse me. Can I make the point? It's not that we wouldn't reappoint them at such time when their term expired. This is New York state law. There's also extreme liability exposure. You would have to remove them if they didn't comply with this.
Right.
Which involves a public hearing and finding of just cause to do so. But that's the leverage, if you will, that Doug needs to use, is that you will be removed from your position if you don't complete this within X number of days before the end of the year, I suppose.
Okay.
Thank you. All right. That's it for me.
Okay. Where are we? Supervisor, deputy supervisor, the financial reports are attached. I intended to have, I have to have it next month, but a report on the Canandaigua Lake watershed Council as well as the Canandaigua Local Development Corp. We have a meeting on Thursday to give everyone an update, and I'll do it sort of an end of year wrap up. But if anybody has any questions about either of those things, we've been busy on both fronts. Kevin Mulvaney has, I can't even tell you how many different projects going on, and things going on in the town as well as all over the county. So I will have a specific report for you next month on that. Does anyone have any questions for me on anything? Okay. Reports of committees, boards, and commissions. Linda, do you have anything from finance other than what we just spoke about?
No, the audit was a big focus of the meetings that we had, so nothing further.
Okay, thank you. Planning, Terry?
Really only one thing, we've talked before about the Grandview sewer district creation. And there have been a couple of letters sent. We had a petition originally. There were about 20 people that signed it saying they were interested in having sewer service in that area. And it is one of the areas that was identified in our sewer master plan as, quite an area of interest, because there are some situations there where people could, have failed systems. So we sent one letter out, we got very poor response. Sent out another letter, got an equally poor response, but I think we're up to about between 8 and 10 people have replied, and the majority of them, only a couple said they'd be interested. All of them said they'd be interested if it was free, but that's not the case. So I would say it's probably time to move on from that and just close that chapter, because people are not interested. The ones that have answered really don't want to pay for it. So and there are some in the area that have recently, done some work on their septic systems to keep them in good repair. So, they don't want to spend money twice, I guess you could say. So,
What was the estimated cost?
I think it was, what was it, Jim, around 2,000 a year?
2,000 a year.
It was well above, control, audit and control numbers from Albany. So it's just not, doesn't look like it's in the cards. So I think that we should move on perhaps to the next area of interest, which was, I believe, County Road 28. And take a look at that. There are a lot more people in that area. And it was the third highest area of interest. Cheshire was first, Grandview second, County Road 28 third. So we could start looking at that again. We have some numbers from when the sewer master plan was put together, but I think that plan was 2016. Yeah, it's like 4 years old, almost 5 years old. So, but we could begin looking at that. I think that's what we should do. So that's pretty much it.
All right, thank you. Environmental, Jared?
Nothing at this time.
And ordinance, Gary, other than what we have on the agenda this evening, you have anything else for us, or even on those topics? Okay, I don't think there's anyone from planning, zoning, environmental, CIC, Parks and Rec, and stop me if anyone's out there that wants to speak. Special events, agricultural committee, drainage committee.
With respect to the drainage committee, I know Jim's probably noticed this too. They haven't met since this pandemic thing started, but the county has been doing quite a bit of work on County Road 16, where the bulk of our complaints about drainage issues came from. They started at Route 21 and they've been gradually working their way down the hill. They're down to about where Miller's Nursery used to be, the Wegmans organic farm. So they had told us last winter they're going to start doing some work, and they seem to be doing it. So.
Okay. All right, thank you for that update. Next, we have our next privilege of the floor. If anyone would like to be heard. All right, resolutions. We have no continued resolutions. We'll go to resolution number 2020-237, acceptance of the monthly financial reports.
So moved.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Resolution carries. Resolution number 2020-238, acknowledgement and authorization of budget transfers by town manager.
So
So
moved.
moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Doug, did you want to say anything on this, or? Is it
Yeah,
self-explanatory?
I think these are pretty small. These are pretty basic transfers. Just
Okay.
when towards the end of the year, and these are small transfers that need to be done to keep our accounts from going negative.
Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Resolution carries. Resolution number 2020-239, acceptance of 2020 annual audit report by Bonadio Group.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Resolution carries. Resolution number 2020-240, authorizing Canandaigua National Bank and Trust to act as agent for the town of Canandaigua to accept 2021 town and county tax payments.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Resolution number 2020-241, unpaid Canandaigua Farmington District sewer bills to tax for re-levy.
Whoa,
Second.
I know, Jean, you wanted to change something on this?
Yes, the special district name should read SC 481 for the Canandaigua Farmington Sewer. And I got an updated number. They didn't include a commercial property. So that 171796 is now 175294.
Okay. Do we need to approve an amendment to that, or is that a ministerial change? Anyone know? I guess we could be on the safe side and make a motion to.
No, that's fine.
All right, thank you. You saved me a lot of speaking. Chris.
Sorry, it takes me a minute to get it off of mute.
You just earned all your money for the evening. Okay, we have a motion to, well, we have a motion. Any further discussion on that? All in favor of the resolution as amended?
aye,
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Resolution number 2020-242, acceptance of proposal for audit services and authorization for town manager to execute contract.
So Kathy, this is the one that we're going to supersede this resolution with 242A, which I have here on the screen for you.
Okay,
You guys, but
so let us consider 2020-242A, acceptance of
Okay.
proposal for audit services and authorization for town manager to execute contract. I heard a so moved from Linda.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Resolution number 2020-243, authorized 2021 purchase of new tandem axle truck with snow plow equipment.
whoa,
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Carries. Resolution number 2020-244, Kramer Road Water District Extension to the Canandaigua Consolidated Water District, seeker resolution determination of significance.
whoa,
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Resolution carries. Resolution number 2020-245, establishment of Kramer Road Water District Extension to the Town of Canandaigua Consolidated Water District and authorization for town supervisor to execute documents.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Resolution carries. Resolution number 2020-246. Public interest order pursuant to New York State Town Law, Section 202B, relating to the construction of certain improvements for the Kramer Road Water District extension to the town of Canandaigua Consolidated Water District.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Resolution carries. 2020-247, approved contract agreement for snow and ice control on county roadways for the 2020-2021 snow removal season. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Resolution carries. Resolution number 2020-248, authorization and budget adjustment for electrical contract change order to Consolidated Water District Capital Improvement Project, H26W.
Moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Carries. Resolution number 2020-249, seeker determination of non-significance and adoption of a text code amendment regarding regulation of off-street parking.
Moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Resolution carries.
Kathy?
Yeah.
Three for 2020 or 2020.
Can you say that one more time?
It's local law 3 of 2020.
Thank you. Resolution number 2020-250. Adopting the natural resources inventory update and local law to amend town code to reflect the new inventory.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Will be local law number 4.
Thank you, Jean. Resolution number 2020-251, planning for authorizing town manager to exercise option to purchase land on Canandaigua Lake and setting a public hearing for said action.
Moved.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Resolution number 2020-252, adoption of temporary COVID-19 leave policy.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Resolution numbers, we're going to, if there's no opposition, we will block the following resolutions, 2020-253 through 2020-255.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Resolutions 253 through 255 of 2020 carry. That's the last of our resolutions. Next, we have approval of town board meeting minutes from October 29th of 2020.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, do we have any discussion, requests for amendments, changes, corrections? Okay, seeing no requests for same. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Town board meeting minutes of October 29th, 2020 are approved and carried. Payment of the bills, Jean.
Utility abstract dated November 2nd, 2020 totaling $7,818.31 with a general fund of $2,900 and the water districts of $4,918.31. The utility abstract dated November 5th, 2020 totaling $4,796.89. The general fund of $3,755.98 and the water districts of $1,040.91. The abstract dated November 9th, 2020, totaling $1,067,036.51. The general fund of $205,085.49. Highway fund of $333,642.94. Capital projects of $411,005.44. Lighting districts of $1,145.28. Sewer districts of $18,210, and the water districts of $24,447.36.
So moved.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion to approve the bills carries. Thank you, Jean. We have our next privilege of the floor. If anyone wants to be heard. Okay. Other business? Do we have any other business? No. Our last privilege of the floor. Okay, seeing no hands. I believe we have an executive session as requested by town manager to discuss employment history of a particular individual. Do we expect any other business at the conclusion of our executive session?
One other executive session request relating to land acquisition when publicity may affect value, but no action after either executive session matter.
Okay, so for anyone who has to be let out for the executive session, we don't expect anything else afterwards. Thank you for joining us, everyone.
We should sell one, yeah.
Executive session. Was there a second?
Oh, Kathy, you're muted.
All right, sorry about that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries to exit executive session.
Motion to end the meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Oh, wait a minute. Were we supposed to talk about Doug's evaluation? Is there something we need to do on that? The email we got said that we were to discuss it.
Yeah, so what?
We have to go back into executive session for
Then,
that, or?
Well, here, wait, we're not ready. So let me just tell you real quick. So traditionally you would send all those to Samantha, the
Which we
results,
did.
she'll compile them all. And then she'll give them to you, a copy to you and a copy to me. Actually, I just sent her an email this afternoon saying, hey, do we have all the 5 of them back yet? So she's still working on that. So we'll.
Oh, I thought we got it.
She definitely let us know she had all 5 of them.
Oh, she does? Okay.
Yes.
I haven't seen a copy of it yet, but maybe,
Okay,
maybe it's on my.
Next month.
so we could do that next time.
Yeah.
All right. Are we all set? Adjourned?
Okay,
Chris,
adjourned.
are you wanting to be heard? I can't tell.
Are you
just-
playing
Nope.
with the
Oh, he's waving.
It's a dog now.
cat?
Have a good night, everybody.
All right,
Happy Thanksgiving.
bye.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
You're heading south, Linda. No, she's gone. She's heading south already. Oh.